Hi, I'm Tinny from Able Design, and today I'm going to take a look at the Bongo stoves. Just a quick look at all of them. Generally, for anybody that doesn't know anything about them, I'll just run you through the three basic ones: the high nipple, the deluxe, and the pro. I built pros today, and I also built bios. And tomorrow I'll probably build I don't know, deluxe, or I got so many stoves to build, I don't know what I'm going to build next. But anyway, let's take a look at the video on the Bongo stoves, and then I think I'm going to take a nap. Bye-bye. Okay, I shot this once and didn't like it, so I'm going to shoot it again and make it a little more simple this time. And I'm going to keep looking up to make sure I've got everything in the camera, so if you see me stop for a minute, I'm checking my focus and everything. Okay, I'm going to do one stove here. This is a Bongo. This is the Bongo Pro, my best stove. And the only difference between the Pro and the Deluxe is that the Deluxe doesn't have this groove in it and doesn't have all these holes in it. It's a solid piece of aluminum. Now, when you get this stove, the legs come in the bottle just so they don't punch out through the plastic and get lost. Now, let me show you. Here's the cap for the bottle. Screws right onto the bottle like yay. And when you get ready to fuel up, you have your fuel line on your nipple, and you simply squeeze the bottle. Let me check my focus here. You simply squeeze the bottle and watch, and you'll see this get shiny and wet with alcohol. When you let off, and you're good for 6 minutes. After 6 minutes is up, you'll see it start to glow a little bit, but because this is carbon felt, it won't hurt it any to glow. You can run it completely out of fuel and it'll be fine, because the carbon felt is completely impervious to temperature. So when it does start to glow, you simply squeeze the bottle again and fuel it up, and you can continue to do that for a long, long time, as long as you've got fuel. Now, the beauty of this stove is the Bongo Pro, this one, and the Bongo Deluxe both have these legs. And these legs fit right onto a standard beer can pot, so you don't need a pot stand. They come right out, can be stored in your stove or in your pot or anything. Now, the idea of this stove is to make it modular. So, whoops, didn't mean to hit the camera. So that if you want to change to a different type of a head, say a smaller head, or if you want to change the wick, or if this gets worn out and you want to replace this, it all comes apart and goes back together relatively easily. You can change the nipple. There's nothing here you can't change. You can buy extra legs for it in case you lose one. And the beauty of that is that if I make something new like this, you don't have to buy the whole stove. You can simply buy this base, which I'll probably be selling in the future, and then you can take your top and your silicone, put them on there, put your wick in, and you don't have to buy all that because you already have it, and you can update to a newer stove by simply doing that, which makes it modular, saves you some money, saves me from making a bunch of parts. Now, this particular stove is still a prototype and it's got some bugs in it, but the basic premise behind this is it's made for the new, see if I've got focus here, it's made for the new pots that have a flat bottom. They don't have the old beer can bottom. And this stove is designed to give you a good wide stance on the new pots to give you extra stability. And it's very stable. It's a good setup. And this fuel is just the same as the rest of them. They're all the same. They all take this turbo top, which is deadly simple. You just fuel them up, and while the stove is actually cooking, if you see the fuel getting low, you can fuel it while it's running. It's one of the very few stoves made that you can actually fuel while it's going without stopping. And everything, I sell parts for everything in the store. Everything's replaceable. So that's the scoop on that. It's a pretty versatile setup. And I'm building new stuff all the time, so that there's always something new and exciting to add to it. like the ovens I'm building, or the new pots, or a different type of a head, or this base. This is a medium heat stove. It's not real hot. It's just hot enough. I've designed it to be just hot enough to do what you need to do with it. It's hot enough so you can cook with it right steady in one of these One Egg Wonder pans without having to take it off. And it'll boil water in a regular pot in about 10 minutes. It burns about a half an ounce in 10 minutes. You can bake with it with a baking system. It basically will do anything you want to do, but it's not a super fast stove. If you want a super fast stove, buy a BIOS. So I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and this is the Bongo line of stove. So get out and hike, take a friend, and more important than anything, have a really great day. Bye-bye. This is a supplemental to the video for the Bongo. I just got back from outside. I'm about 2/3 froze to death. Just unloaded 1,000 boxes from a freight company out of the back end of a tractor trailer. Unloaded the pickup and brought them up to the house, so I'm half frozen. But there's a couple things I wanted to tell you. I've been getting 1 million people watching the videos and asking me what I use for a knife. And Jason Class and I talk on the telephone every now and then, and he was making fun of me for the knife I had because it was so heavy. So this is the knife I carry. I did have one that was heavy, but I've switched it out for this one, and I found that this, for me personally, and you have to be really careful what you say about knives, because the knife police will kill you if you don't say the wrong thing. So for me, and only for me, nobody else, this is a perfect knife, because I don't use a knife a lot. I use it basically to cut cardboard boxes and cut, line and open plastic containers and stuff. Like a vacuum seal bag, I'll use it to open up a vacuum seal bag when I'm doing freezer dry cooking. And it's just simply a plastic box cutter, Stanley box cutter. And what I really like about it is I'm a fanatic about sharp knives. I bought knives that cost $100 and dulled them almost immediately. Every time I want to use them, they're dull, because I'm really hard on knives. I'm dumber than dirt when it comes to keeping a knife sharp. I'll cut on something, and I'll cut across a staple or a nail or hit a rock, or I'm the kind of guy that will take a plastic bag and set it on a rock and open it. I mean, that pretty much is the end of your knife, right? Just dumb and dirt. And with this, even though I'm that dumb, I can keep snapping these off, and there's like 20 blades in here, so I got 20 chances to screw up, and I still have a sharp knife that's just absolutely razor sharp. So that's a scoop on that. One other thing, somebody pointed out, rather rudely, but pointed out that I called Emerald Lagasse, I called him Emerald Green, and his name actually is Emerald Lagasse. I called him Emerald Green because the show that I watch him on is called the Emerald Green Show. It's on channel 194. It's a green channel. So he gets referred to as Emerald Green because that's the name of the show, but his name's actually Lagasse. So, in the words of Red Green, I'm going to say those 3 little words that mean so much, but are so hard to say. I was wrong. I'm a man, but I can change if I have to. Bye-bye.